Geography lesson, poem explanation from class 8, subject English, book Honeydew. Can you imagine what your city would look like if you saw it from 10,000 feet above the ground? Neatly planned and perfect in proportion, like a geometric design. It would strike you as something very different from what it actually is while you are in the thick of it. Here is a poet's description of just such a view of the city and some questions that come to his mind. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. Explanation: as the jet takes off and the poet looks down from the sky, he notices that the city layout makes sense when seen from above. From the ground, it looked random, messy, and unplanned. But from above, he realizes there's a certain logic and order in how cities are spread out. Maybe cities developed around roads, rivers, or flat land. Moral: sometimes we don't understand things until we see the bigger picture. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. The logic of geography, that land and water attracted men, was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. Explanation: as the plane flies higher, the poet now sees the bigger layout of the country. He realizes that most cities are near rivers and valleys. Why? Because people need water to survive, and flat land is good for farming and living. This is called the logic of geography. People settle where nature supports life. When the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land, but it was difficult to understand that the men on earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. Zulfikar Ghosh. Explanation: now the jet is very high, around 10 kilometers up in the sky. The poet can see the whole earth, its shape, and how beautiful and peaceful it looks from above. But there's one thing he can't understand. Why do humans hate each other? Why do they build walls, fight wars, and kill? The earth doesn't show borders, divisions, or hate. All that is man made. Even though we live on the same planet, we create conflict and violence. So, friends, we have completed the stanza by stanza explanation. Now, let's see the key themes and messages. First, perspective changes everything. What looks messy from the ground looks meaningful from above. We need to look at life from a broader view to understand it better. Second, nature is logical, but humans are not. Nature has a system. People settle where water and land are available. But human behavior, hatred, wars, borders has no logic. Third, peaceful planet, divided people. The earth itself is beautiful, peaceful, and united. But human minds are divided by religion, politics, greed, and ego. Now, friends, let's see the important vocabulary. First, inevitability. Something that is bound to happen cannot be avoided. Haphazard, random, disorganized. Delineated, clearly shown or described. Logic of geography, the reasoning behind how people settle in different places, like near rivers or in valleys. Friends, now let's see the moral of the poem. Understand life with a broader vision. Stop fighting over man made differences. We all live on one planet, and from the sky, there are no borders. If we looked at life like this more often, maybe we had find more peace and less hate. Honestly, I love this poem. It's not just about geography, it's a powerful message about humanity. Zulfikar Ghosh beautifully shows how nature is smart and humans can be foolish, especially when we fight over things that don't even exist in nature. From the sky, everything looks united, so maybe we need to rise above our narrow thinking too. Friends, our poem geography lesson is complete. We have read the explanation, summary, moral, vocabulary of the poem. You can find the question answers link in the description and on the screen. If you like the video, kindly like it and share it with your friends. You can support me with channel membership and super thanks. We will meet in the next video. Thank you for watching.